I'd like to present the next award and induct Rabbi Avi Greenstein. He said to me, "Why do I deserve it?" Because that's who he is. He would say that. This is somebody who's the chief executive officer, and I'm not going to take away from your lead-in, but I just want to, as you come up, of the Borough Park Jewish Community Council. And when I talk about people working with other people and other groups, Mark Meyer-Appel, who will be presenting the award and got our Torchbearer Award last year for his organization, the Bridge Multicultural organization, is extraordinary. Both of them are doing something very, very special, which they'll talk about. So I would ask the two of them to come up now, if you would, and sit in the chairs.
It's a real pleasure, Howard, to be here tonight again, once again. Beautiful crowd. And people don't really understand what Borough Park is about. Borough Park is a very Hasidic community, but it's also a very special community. And it's special because a lot of people that are involved in building the community and maintaining relationships with other communities. Rabbi Avi Greenstein, who's being awarded and inducted into the Hall of Fame, came into the council about 8 years ago, right? About 8 years ago. And he built this organization into a multi-million social services organization that takes care of people of every day, with their food stamps, with their food pantries, with their clothing drives, with all the social issues that people need. And it's incredible, but Borough Park is also surrounded by different other communities, Bangladesh community, Italian community, so it takes the strength of a leader to be able to guide this organization and build a relationship with the adjoining community. So my first question to you, Avi, is, first of all, congratulations. You're well deserved. But how, as a Hasidic community, did you take an organization and just build it into this multi-mega million? I've been at the place, you have upstairs and downstairs, you have events going on, everything's going on. How did you do it?
First of all, thank you, Mark, very much. Thank you, Howard, and thank you so much for the Brooklyn Jewish Historical Initiative. Well, let me first say that what got me started in going in this route of advocacy and helping people is because I grew up in Borough Park, and I really feel like this community is something very special, and then that there's the unique needs of each community is really something that it inspires me to really work with us. And I feel like we're connected, we're more common in who we are than we think. And so that when we could, I was a young person starting off, I said, we're gonna help this community grow, we're gonna try to put forth the real face of the Borough Park community, and just try hard and build teams and work with anyone who wants to work with us, and that leads to putting in that effort helps. But I want to just mention it's not without its struggle. It's very certainly gratifying to look back now and seeing successes. But when you see and you experience and you live through difficult moments, the hard labor, all of us can relate to that. Difficult times like COVID, difficult times experiencing the aftermath of October 7. There's so much, and of course, spikes in anti-Semitism, dealing with poverty. There's so much that weighs us down, right? But what I find is it's compound. It's compound. Putting in efforts every day, building teams, working with people is the best way to build and continue to grow. But the challenge is great, and the goalpost keeps on going further and further. So, thank you.
I remember coming to your office. We had a meeting with the Brooklyn United organization, where different communities from around the city came to see Borough Park. And what they saw, they were shocked. They were shocked to see a community that has its own ambulance system, has its own clothing pantries, has its own self-help organization. It's incredible. It's incredible work. There's no money in the world that you can pay somebody to start an organization like Hatzalah. If you were to pay somebody $2 billion, start an infrastructure where ambulance arrives within 6 seconds. I myself had a vertigo episode. It wasn't really life dangerous. In 3 seconds, an ambulance took me down from my bedroom and into a hospital. So that kind of charity of the ambulance services and food pantries and clothing drives and help, the amount of food that's being given out in Passover, together with Met Council, that's just incredible. It's just incredible. It's something that should be shown around the world, and I know by having you videotape it tonight, people around the world will see this and see that we are a community that gives back. We don't take.
But I want to add to that one of the things that inspires me really to the core is connecting with other communities around our neighborhoods, and we find is that what's common is what connects us so much is that we all experience issues with aging, issues with poverty. We all want the best for our families and our children, and that really, when we have the opportunity to get people around the table, but other communities, it really is important. That's really something that I feel like our community, I see this from our perspective, is really, unfortunately, bear the brunt of a bad media presence, bad face in the media. It's not the story that we know and experience every day. You walk the streets of 13th Avenue, you see beautiful families, beautiful businesses, you see children walking the streets, well-dressed, well-mannered, and families caring for one another, trying to build a community. That's not the story you get when you read about Borough Park, and that bothers me and that motivates me. And to build as many people as possible get to experience the experience of Borough Park and Brooklyn, which it is. So Borough Park JCC has developed together with COPO. COPO is the Council of People Organizations, Mohammed Razvi. We developed a Brooklyn Communities United initiative to bring leaders of communities around the table, and we meet regularly in each of our communities. And that really connects us. We can talk about and lobby together and work together on issues. But I want to mention one very quick story. It was a little bit after October 7 that we got together, and that particular meeting was in COPO. Mohammed Razvi hosted it at that particular meeting. It was maybe a week or 2 weeks or so after October 7. And there was a lot of tension in the room. But this meeting was planned a couple of weeks or maybe months before. And there was tremendous tension. We're sitting in a round table with imams and rabbis and pastors and reps from all communities. But we had that beautiful meeting, and we were sitting and talking about the issues and how we can connect and how we can really work together. And I remember one of the participants getting up and saying, "Where are the media? There should be 5 major vans outside, major network television standing outside with big cameras. This is the story of Brooklyn. This is the story of communities coming together, not what's going on in the Middle East." And this is an example of how we can really work together. That is a memorable moment that continues to drive us and should drive us all, is to reach out, keep on being curious, keep on engaging, and ultimately great people will come together, great things will happen.
I just want to say thank you. Mohammed Razvi is the head of COPO, which is the Council of People Organization. It's the largest nonprofit in the city of New York. It receives tens of millions of dollars in funding. A simple story, I was in synagogue. The first call I got showing my support for the hostages was from Mohammed Razvi. And also, during the Ukrainian situation, what happened in Ukraine, Jewish community sent over to Mohammed Razvi 30 to 40 trailers of food. So working together, we can change the world. We are changing the world.